and welcome to Janet being Janet. Yeah, this video is just a little bit different than what I normally do. But I wanted to point out something that Katie Joy posted on Instagram that just happened to get her a little bit of backlash, and she had to do two lives and mention this. So let's get into this and see exactly what she had to say. Okay, so without a crystal ball posted, I am sure Hannah Wissman is very sweet. I am sure she has a very loving family. She needs to run far away from Jeremiah Duggar, in my opinion. The Wissmans are not in the IBLP anymore. I feel Jeremiah will bring Hannah back into the fold and slowly strip away her rights. Imagine the ego of a man where their photo of their girlfriend is the girl fawning over them. We need to normalize photos of couples where the man is not posturing as though she is their property. Jeremiah is showing his control by looking at the photo. He is holding Hannah, but her hands do not touch him. This photo says, "She belongs to me." For those that will claim I'm reaching, leave your comments at the door. Jeremiah is 100% under Jim Bob's control. He is heavily involved in the IBLP. He is part of the cult. There is nothing accidental with the Duggars post. There is no reaching, especially knowing that once married, Hannah will lose any independence she has and be forced into a life of submission, forced SCX, and have no rights. This isn't a reach. The IBLP violates human rights and steals the rights of women daily. So let's read a couple of these posts that her followers just happened to comment on. I'm pretty sure this is a standard pose regardless of what religion you are. Someone replies, "It definitely is. I'm a photographer and I do this pose all the time with my couples. I have the girl look at the guy, then I'll switch it up and have the guy look at the girl. It's not that deep." Someone else commented, "I'm sorry, but this is just a standard pose for couples. I've done it with my fiance and done it the other way too with him looking at me. You are just trying to find anything to target them. This pose has nothing to do with control or cult." Someone else commented to her, "Not reaching at all." So now, guys, let's go ahead and go into a little bit of her Instagram lives that she did, and then we'll continue to post a couple more of, her followers' posts as we go. But y'all, listen into this.
I had someone in my post today yelling at me about saying that Hannah Wissman needs to run from Jeremiah. And they said I was talking down to Hannah. I'm actually not talking down to Hannah. I'm telling Hannah that you should have grave concerns about the man that you're dating and his family. Even if Jeremiah hasn't done anything, when you marry Jeremiah, you're marrying Jim Bob.
So somebody actually went on there and posted, "He didn't do anything. He deserves love." And then somebody else has to come along behind them and post, "Ooh. Really? That's the adult way to do things? No, I don't think so."
You are. Jim Bob believes that he controls his sons. So you will become not only property of Jeremiah, but you will become property of Jim Bob. You should be careful with that. You're going to be marrying into a family that has going to be in prison for probably a couple decades, and a family that has dealt with severe, which could also be spread to some of his brothers. It's not unreasonable to assume that there could be other brothers that have done similar things as Josh. And it wouldn't be out of the ballpark for it to happen, because I've talked to so many people in this world, and it's like, it's not usually just one. It's so systemic. It's like they're all, they're not all, but you know what I mean? Like, there's usually more than one. And I'm not accusing any of them of doing anything. I'm just saying, like, that's what happens in this cult. It's part of the cult. It sucks. So if I were Hannah, I would be running, because her family's not in the IBLP anymore. So why would you want to run into a family that's going through this significant crisis, even if you loved Jeremiah? There's a million other people that don't have the baggage that his family has and that won't bring your name down. She's a beautiful girl that does not deserve to be objectified to the horror that's in that family. That's just my opinion. That's not me tearing down Hannah. Her friend tried to argue with me that Jeremiah has his own voice and his own brain, and I was like, no.
So let's go ahead and talk about what her friend posted. "Hannah is very sweet. Hannah is a friend of mine of 20 plus years. Please don't speak of her negative. Don't speak negatively of my friend. You don't know her. I do. We have done all kinds of things together over the years. I have met and interacted with Jer too. Be kind to these people. They are good people. Without a crystal ball responds, no one is going after Hannah. Jeremiah is not independent or making his own choices. He's in a cult under his father's control. No one thinks Hannah is bad. She should get away from Jeremiah and the Duggars. To which the friend responded, saying that he's controlling and free Hannah? Quotation marks. How do you think it would make her feel if she knew what you were saying about her boyfriend who she cares or who she clearly adores? She's a lovely, joyful soul. Going after Jer in turn goes after her too, because he is her boyfriend. It would just be nice if people didn't paint my friend and her guy in a negative light. That's how I am loyal, so I commented. And I just want to say to the friend, you go, girl. You stand up for your friend and you make sure that you be there for her because you got it. You really do. You got it under control. Way to go.
So funny. And I want to point something out to you because I put a post up earlier today and you guys got so mad at me about this and it's so silly. Let me show you. This. You guys got so mad. You said, well, it's just a girl looking at her husband or her boyfriend and, it's a pose that everyone does.
So somebody replied back to her, they look like they are in love. I don't see anything wrong with this picture.
But that's not what you're looking at. You're looking at indoctrination. Like, have you ever seen a Duggar boy or even a Bates boy do a picture where they don't have the girl fawning over them? Look at all of Lawson's pictures with Tiffany. Like, she is constantly like fawning over him and he's the god. And that's what this picture represents. Like the girl looking at them like he is a god. It's no different than the way that Anna looks at Josh, the way Michelle looks at Jim Bob. It's not about it's a normal family pose or it's a normal picture pose. Like, I feel like sometimes people need to remove their own feelings about what you're seeing and actually understand the actual cult. Like, the women are property. And that's a very possessive pose because she's not touching him at all.
Now let's get into the reply she was actually talking about. I don't disagree with you, but a couple of weeks ago you said, quote, body language is not scientific or exact. There are a million reasons we move the way we do. It's not reliable as an indicator of how we feel, end quote. Now don't come at me. I love your reports. But you said that about Josh and Anna, so I just think it's funny that you're now literally analyzing body language when you told us all that doing that was crap a few weeks ago. Somebody else replied, exactly. As a photographer, this pose is not uncommon and has nothing to do with a cult or religion, LOL. Then somebody else replies, thank you. It didn't sit right with me when she attacked everyone for sending her that YouTube video analyzing Josh's body language. The channel is called Observe, and I find his videos very entertaining and informational. He always makes sure to say that it's not a perfect science and is only 70% accurate at best, but he is very unbiased, and I tend to agree with his conclusions about people. Katie was extremely rude to SHIT all over him and his work when he's over here trying to do the same thing, but has no clue what she is doing.
Like, if you see this, he has his arm firmly around her and her hands are by her side. That's a possessive, aggressive stance. It's a protector stance, so you're going to say, oh, it's sweet, it's protection, but it's also an ownership stance. Like, why is he looking at the camera and she looking at him? Is she not valuable enough to look at the camera too? Why are the women always deferring to their husbands in this cult? Because they're not allowed to have a voice. And once they get married, Hannah will not have a voice. She'll become a submissive wife like all the rest of them. It's really sad.